Welcome back to the Chess Goals YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about studying chess without books. And in the online era, it's really easy to do. What I'm going to do is walk you guys through how you can play a game and use that game to inform your study outside of playing. So, pretty much all of our Chess Goals study plans recommend that you play games at least 50% of the time, and maybe up to 75% of your chess time. So what I'm going to do now is show you kind of one of our study plans. This is our intermediate, rapid, and classical plan. And you can see day by day, there's different tasks that you're supposed to complete with checkboxes. And then on some days, you'll have to study strategy, tactics, openings, or endgames. So there's kind of those four categories: strategy, tactics, openings, endgames. And then there's playing and game analysis. So one thing you can do if you don't want to crack a book, like you don't want to have reassess your chess, or Silman's Endgame Guide. Um, you can use your games to create studies for the future. So let's say I want to focus my Saturdays and Sundays specifically on studying and not playing. So, like if you look to the left here in the Intermediate Rapid and Classical Guide, we talk about using the Yusupov course Saturdays and Sundays. Well, one thing you could do is play your games Monday through Friday, and after each game, store a main takeaway to study on the weekend, right? So, still kind of do a brief analysis of the game, but maybe you find one very interesting strategic concept. Take the link from the game, put that in a spreadsheet or somewhere that you can remember that has all of your strategy takeaways, right? So, you have a list of strategy takeaway games that build up where you have a link to the game and the specific move number. And then you can have a separate one for end games, separate one for openings, separate one for tactics. This will allow you to use your own games to let you know what you need to work on. Are you losing most games because of strategic concepts? Are you losing most games because of tactics? This is going to help you. You can also have a takeaway sheet that we've talked about before where you list every game and you have columns that discuss what mistakes you made from each game. And then over time, you can start to realize, okay, these are common mistakes I'm making. Let me actively think about them in my future games and let me work on them on the weekends using what I learned from my games to create studies. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to jump into a 3+0 game and just give you guys an example of what things we can take away from that game. I'm hoping I don't get crushed in this game. I've had some bad sessions recently. Let's see how it goes. 3+0, seeking an opponent. All right, here we go. The Smoke 2107. I'm going to go with D4, C4, G6. All right, we might get a King's Indian. Nope, it's more of a Grunfeld. Okay, I don't remember which line I really wanted to play against the Grunfeld. Let's just go with knight f3. We'll see what happens. Bishop f4, e3. Oh, a quick c5. Okay, I have to admit I don't know like any of the theory on this. Let's just get castled. I'm not sure what I want to play. I think eventually I would like to take in the center. I don't know which way to take this. We'll take with knight. I didn't want to accept the isolated pawn on d4, but maybe that'll be one of my takeaways. All right, knight here. I think we can get aggressive maybe. Knight to b5. Is knight to c7, or do I just retreat the knight? Let's take and castle. Just kind of playing it safe. I'm not really up on the theory. I don't want to get too far down on the clock. But this is already one takeaway that I can tell you right now. I need to look at my Grunfeld lines. So if I'm going to be continuing to play d4, c4, knight c3, I got to get my Grunfeld lines down better. All right, black wants e5. I can't allow that. So I'm going to stick my bishop there. If this knight moves, I'll probably trade on g7. e6. Okay, I'm not sure about that move. Boxing in the bishop. I think my queen really needs to get out here. Bring her rook to d1. Where do I want to put her? Maybe I'll post up on d4. I'm just kind of trying to create some problems for black on the diagonal. I'm also keeping an eye on the clocks. I don't like getting too far behind in 3-0. And when I talk through my moves, I'm not very good at that. I do tend to burn time. The knight moves, I take on g7. My bishop guards b8, which is nice. Okay, bishop a6, not really threatening much. Let's just put a rook on d1. Any capture here I can take back. I'm hoping this pawn on c6 becomes weak later. Okay, rook c8, trying to push this pawn. I was actually thinking I could lock it in with c5, but now I'm noticing a7's hanging. Let's just snap this off. Hitting the bishop. That's kind of annoying for black, actually. Can't capture on c4 because I have the d pawn pinned. I just take back. Rook a8, that's what I expected. I could offer the queen trade here, but let's go this way. Let's try to hit this pawn on c6. Oh, that just allowed knight d7. That's not good. I saw it as soon as I played it. All right, so I'm down material now. So this could be a good tactics takeaway, right? I'm almost getting my queen trapped. Fell for a tactic there. Not good. It's pretty hard to get the queen back, actually. All right, how do I make something of this? What's the material count? +2. Can I do anything crazy here? Maybe I should just resign. Hmm. Okay, let's get rid of that knight. It's a pretty strong piece. And we'll just try to open this up a bit. My rook's lined up with the queen, but I'm really low on time here. Two's hanging. All right, I'm going to resign. Well played by black. So what I can do now is go to the game review. Let this run for a second. And I'm going to use the game review to pick out a few spots for takeaways. So this chart up above shows how the game was going. So I think the opening phase, I would like to just have my theory down. Right around this point, it seems like maybe black had a slight edge. So what I would do is I would take the URL from this game, put that in a spreadsheet, and then maybe have columns for openings, strategy, tactics, and endgames. And I would say openings and pick a move where I felt like I didn't know the theory. In this case, it might have been like move 5 already. And then the next takeaway is probably where you see the eval drop, right? So things were going well, increasing, increasing. Right here, queen c5. This is a tactical mistake. I think that's a big takeaway. I need to do a little bit better job before releasing the mouse saying, well, what is black going to do in return? I think I just got too comfortable here. Snag that pawn for free. I knew I had the advantage. I thought, oh, I'll just move the queen anywhere. I was looking at queen c7 as well. This is one that I could even retry. Like, what do you do instead of queen c5? It's not letting me retry. Oh, there we go. Okay, retry. So instead of queen c5, maybe queen c7 for the queen trade. Let's see what it thinks. Oh, might cause trouble still. So what's the best line? Queen back to d4. I do like that. So grab the pawn, come back, and still keep this pressure on the diagonal. So that's what I would do. Pull those into a spreadsheet, use those takeaways later. And the nice thing about it is you can spend 6 minutes, let's say, on the blitz game and 1 minute grabbing the takeaways and then have those built up. So you can spend a couple hours on your days where you're not playing games. Then I can just go right into the very next game, focus on playing. You know what? While we're here, let's play one more. I'd like to get a win. Watch, this video will turn into like a 20 game session. All right, we got white again, 2265. Opponent, is he going to play Grunfeld? No, King's Indian this time. All right, let's go with one of the H3 lines. He's gonna start with C5, so I'm going D5, CB5. I'm gonna ignore this and drop a pawn. Bad start to the blitz, but that's okay. What I'm going to do now, opening obviously is a takeaway on this one. What I'm going to do now is try to play quickly and see if I can create some problems for my opponent. I'm giving this pawn back, but I'm eyeing the diagonal. That was my idea. If knight takes d5, bishop e4. So he's starting with bishop b7, and I can defend this pawn with queen and bishop. This guy is a monster, though, on g7, hitting the b2 pawn. A takes b is an idea. All right, that pawn is a potential target on d6. I do like that. I'm going to eye this a7 pawn as well. Let's just grab it. I'm getting a little greedy in this video, but I'm down a pawn. I got to get that back. And I find at the 2200 level, a lot of games are decided by free pawns. That's one thing I've noticed. I don't know why that is. I almost gave up a pawn back, I think. I don't know why that is, but I did still give up a pawn. You know, to go from like 2200 blitz to 2500 blitz, let's say, I think a lot of it is attack pawns and hold on to your pawns. As simple as it sounds. So I'm worse here. I'm down a pawn. Black's pieces are well placed. Bishop on long diagonal. Yeah, that's kind of annoying. I want to take that off. I need to get this knight into the game. G2 could become a problem, though. All right, here he comes. Strong attack by black. And I'm just getting crushed. Okay, I'm going to go f3. I'd like my king to hide on h1, but I'm temporarily shutting down this battery, which I like. Maybe I can get something going against f7. Yeah, the queen's trying to check me. Makes sense. Where is she going from there? I have knight e4 coming up next. And then hopefully I can get this bishop into the game on the diagonal. I'm a little bit up on the clock. That's probably something I should play for. Try to stay up on the clock. All right, attacking the bishop and guarding the e4 square. I think that's a good move. Don't have knight e4. Oof. Brutal. So again, openings and tactics. Tactics are not sharp today, that's for sure. And openings could use a little work too. All right, let's just see if I can find any last-ditch effort to come back in this game. I don't think so. Oh, he's threatening the fork too. Okay, I'm just going to resign. So then you can go into the game review. And this chart is going to be pretty ugly, I think. When I won the pawn back on a6, I might have been close to equal. I think it was like black advantage, close to equal, black advantage. Oh, it was worse than I thought. All right, so right here, I was up 1.5. On to b5 gives away free material. Yeah, I probably should have just played c takes b and gone into this Benko type position. This is one that I'll look at. I haven't been playing a lot of serious chess and using this classical d4 repertoire much. So learn the opening lines better, Matt. That's an obvious one. And the tactics as well. So really right here, I think was a major problem. Just allowing this win of the e4 pawn. And things went downhill from there. So even when I won a7 back, I thought I was back in the game, but I missed this move. I missed this whole idea that the d pawn drops. So I'm still a lot worse. And now things are passive. Black's all over the place. So I can take those takeaways, openings and tactics, put those into my spreadsheet. And I think it's clear that that's what I'm needing at this point in terms of getting my blitz game back. All right, thanks guys for watching. Let me know what you think of this video. Have you tried this strategy before? And I will see you in the next video. Have a good day.